Hey everyone, this is Josh. I love Samsung. I've been a fan of Samsung since early 2015 when I got the Galaxy S5. And believe it or not, I still have that phone, although I'm not really using it anymore. But I used that phone for over 4 years. Actually, I used it for about 3 years, then I gave it to my wife, and she used it for another year. That thing stood the test of time. If I took the case off and the screen protector off, you would see that it's still in perfect condition. It still turns on, it still works. The battery still has not exploded, and it was a great experience. The only reason we decided to get new phones is because, of course, every year there's new technology coming out and you kind of don't want to miss out. But also, the outdated operating system, after a while, it does kind of slow down, or at least it did on my S5, and so I just wanted to upgrade anyway. And so I upgraded to a Galaxy S8 Plus. I got that phone in late 2017, right after I left the Marines, and I'm still using that phone almost 3 full years later. I've had absolutely no issues. I have always had a a OtterBox protector, and I've dropped that phone a million times. I've even tossed it on purpose. Never thrown it directly on the ground, on hard ground at purpose, but I certainly have dropped it on the ground by accident many, many times. And actually, it just so happens a week and a half ago, I was in a parking lot just talking to somebody, not really doing anything special, just took out my phone to check something really quick, and then it flung out of my hand, landed right on the corner, and got a nice little crack right there. But the screen protector protected most of the screen. But now if I were to turn it back in for an upgrade, I wouldn't get the full trade-in value because now it's cracked a little bit on the side. Not as bad as some of the pictures you see of iPhones that are just completely shattered, or people that don't have any cases at all on these phones that have a glass back. I had a friend when I was living in Spain, for whatever reason, on his S6, I think it was, or S7, with the really curved screen. I think that was the S6. For whatever reason, he never wanted to put a case on it, and he completely shattered it within a couple weeks. That's why I always have a case no matter what. Fast forward a little bit, and I was about to start school. This was late 2018 or summer 2018. I was about to begin school as a full-time student, and I was transferring to do the last 2 years of my undergraduate degree. I'm still working on that, but I needed something for school, and so I decided to get the Galaxy Tab S4, and I'm still using it. I use it today. I absolutely love it. I have no complaints. It does everything it's supposed to do, but I wish I had done some research a little bit more and fully understood what I was getting into. But really, at the end of the day, it's fine. It's totally manageable. Let me explain a little bit. I got it not just because I'm a Samsung fan, but I love the ultra portability with it. It's really small. It's like 10 and a half inches about. When it first came out in August 2018, I got it like a couple weeks later, and just in time for school. They had a deal where the keyboard was half off, and I also got a student discount, and it was perfect. So I got it for really, really cheap, less than $1,000, and that includes the 3-year protection plan, the half-off keyboard, and also got a screen, like a glass screen protector. The thing has served very well. And I've been using that a lot. When I've been in the library working on different projects, it's been awesome. Most of my classes, I have to do a lot of reading and a lot of note-taking, and that's been great. However, I learned something that I didn't see in any review about the Galaxy Tab S4, and I know this is the same with any other Android tablet or Chromebook. It's kind of obvious now, looking back. I should have known this. But if you're considering getting one of these Android devices to work, even if you're a fan of Android, for me, obviously I'm an Android fan. there's something just to remember. When I got the tablet, I was thinking, all I really need is my exact same phone, the S8 Plus. I just need a slightly bigger screen and a keyboard, and that'll be great for school because you can download Microsoft Word and Office, Excel, PowerPoint, all those things, and you can actually work on that stuff on your phone, and it works great. And I had a lot of experience doing that, with my phone normally. So I thought all I need is a bigger screen and a keyboard, and instead of just getting a Bluetooth keyboard, which I actually considered, and a Bluetooth mouse, and just using my same phone, so all I would have to do is just carry around the keyboard and mouse, I decided I wanted a bigger screen, so that's why I wanted to get the S4. However, I learned something, as I alluded to a moment ago. Because it's Android, there are certain things you don't realize when you're just on your phone and you want to be more productive, and that is you can only open up one application at a time. So for example, I would be taking notes on a Word document, and maybe I want to bring up another Word document and bring up another Word file. I can't do that. It closes the notes I'm taking, and then it opens up the other Word file. And then if I want to go back, I have to close that Word document. I mean, it's really easy, but it's kind of annoying and not at all conducive to quick and easy learning. It's just too cumbersome to keep closing apps, and it kind of resets where you are and everything. Same thing with PDFs. You can only view one PDF at a time, and that got really frustrating. Now, however, there are ways to get around this because there's so many different apps. Samsung has its own notes app, so I would be able to take notes on that, or read notes from that and then take notes on the Word document. That was fine. Or instead of having two PDFs to look at, I would have one PDF open as an Adobe PDF file, and then I would go onto the cloud, for example, like Google Drive, and I could open up a PDF on there. And so technically I still have two PDFs up, but it's just not in the same app. That was just a way to get around it. And then there's another issue too that people don't really talk about, and you don't really realize until you actually sit down and do it. And so I don't blame reviewers for not mentioning this, but you're still using mobile apps, and you don't realize it even when you're on your phone. Even if you have Word on your phone, you mess around with it. These mobile apps don't have the full features of the actual desktop version. And that really makes sense. They need something more portable, something that works with ARM processing, these Snapdragon processors. They're not like full-on Intel or AMD processors that can do everything. They're mobile versions, which they work great. They work smoothly, and they work really well. But the problem is they're missing a lot of features. For example, I took a class on colonial Latin American history, and the final project we had to do was a 15-page paper on whatever part of Latin America we wanted to do. So we had to write it in Chicago style, not MLA style, but Chicago style, which, if you've ever written a paper before, even if you haven't done Chicago style, it's not too crazy to understand. You have, Times New Roman, 12-point font, double space, but you also have to do in-text references. And you don't do just the parentheses where you do the last name, comma, page number. You actually have to have the little subscript or superscript, and then at the bottom of that page, you have like a quick reference, and then at the end of the paper, you have the full list of references. Now, what's great is that Microsoft Word in the desktop version, you could just click reference, and it does all the formatting for you, and it's exact. But on the mobile version, there's no like quick, easy reference tab, and it's missing a lot of those types of features. Same thing with PowerPoint. I was in the library, sat down, I was all ready to do this PowerPoint, but it was missing. Basically, it only had the basic features. And also, PowerPoint just so happened to be very, very slow on the tablet. It'd hang up, just so much memory. That's one problem with the S4 is it didn't include a lot of memory. I think only 4 gigs of RAM, which was less than their phones, which they still kind of do now. But anyway, so with all these issues, and because I want to continue with school, and also because I want to get rid of my desktop. My desktop has been amazing, but the problem is it just takes up a lot of space. Kind of want to free things up. My desktop is 5 years old, and I want to travel around a bit, but I want to do this on the move. So I need something that can do everything. That's obviously not a full desktop replacement. Otherwise, you'd be lugging around a crazy huge laptop. My brother, he has a Dell G7 17-inch, which is like a crazy gaming computer. It has a RTX 2060, I think, mobile processor. So it's really powerful. Obviously, it's not as powerful if you got the same non-mobile chips, but the problem is it's a very heavy and large laptop. I don't want something like that. I want something portable that kind of is like a happy medium where I get the actual full version of these applications or these files and everything. I can have multiple of the same, multiple PDFs, multiple Word documents. And it just so happens that as I'm thinking of, selling my PC, having a laptop, cleaning things up so I can travel around and still be productive, literally in May 2020, so just last month, they released the Galaxy Book Ion. I guess it's been out a little bit in Korea and in East Asia. I literally never even heard about this thing before. Of course, if you're not in the market for these kind of things, you don't really care. But so I'm really, really interested in the Galaxy Book Ion. However, there's some things that kind of make me nervous, but there's a lot of good things. And in fact, it's kind of interesting. I decided to buy it. I was so excited. I bought the 15-inch, and the reason being is so I could upgrade the SSD and the RAM. Most laptops don't allow you to update these things, to do them manually. You have to, for example, with Mac, or even, really, the Surface laptops, you can't open up the back and just put in whatever you want. But the thing is the like RAM nowadays, for example, on Amazon, you could get a 8 gigabyte SODIMM RAM stick, which is the laptop version of a RAM. You can get that for $30. So I decided, okay, I'll just pay $60. I'll get the 16 gig version. That's what I did. I also got an SSD, and I was so excited for my laptop to come in, and I still want to do an unboxing, but it just so happens that they delivered to the wrong address, and I couldn't pick it up, wasn't allowed to pick it up, so they sent it back, so my order got canceled. This worked out fine, because if any of you are students or military and you have access to a .edu or any government email, if you create an account using those emails, you can actually get a much larger discount. And actually, that's what I did. I went ahead and reordered, of course, making sure the address was correct. But I used my student account this time. And so the 15-inch Galaxy Book Ion is currently sold for $1,300. I saved $150 just for having the student discount. And right now it seems that the Samsung store online is the best place to get it. On Best Buy, it's $100 more. They also don't have all these discounts, so there's that. And then also with Samsung, you can trade in your old devices. So I'm going to be trading in my S4. I don't need that tablet anymore. As much as I've loved it, I'm going to do a full review of that later on. Great device, but I won't have any need for it anymore. So I'm spending a total of $996 for a device that sells for $1,300 on Samsung's website. So it's definitely worth taking a look. Now there's one thing, or actually there's a couple things that I'm nervous about. And the frustrating thing is number one, this device is so new that there's no reviews of it. There's maybe like a couple YouTubers. One is in Korea, one's in Indonesia, and there's one American one. Just amateur review videos. And none of the professional review people have looked at it yet. So I'm kind of going in blind just on what I can understand from reading it. But what's frustrating is all the previews, when they talked about this, 6 months ago, they talked about a Galaxy Book Ion that doesn't exist in the United States. And the reason being is Samsung decided to not give as many customizability options. So in the US, you're limited to the 13-inch and the 15-inch, which is the same. But what they don't include and don't even have an option for it is to have an integrated, to have a dedicated graphics card. The Galaxy Book Ion comes with I think it's an MTX 250. And so that would help, of course, with light gaming, video rendering. And so I'm a little bit nervous because I'm trying to upload more videos about being able to edit videos on the go. And the good thing is it does include the latest processor. I want to make sure I get this right. The iCore, the i7-10510U, 10th generation chip. It's the underpowered chip. I mean, it's the laptop version. So it's a great chip, it sounds like, but is it enough to do everything without a graphics card? And so I'm kind of jumping in here. And so because they got my order mixed up, it gave me a few extra days to reconsider. Do I really want to go all in on this laptop? And I looked at, there were two other finalists. Number one is the Asus ZenBook 15. It's also a 15-inch. They have a 4K screen with the same processor, the i7-10510U, and it also comes with the graphics card, dedicated graphics card, the GTX 1650. The downside, though, with these things is that I already got the SSD and the RAM, a 1 terabyte Samsung NVMe M.2 SSD, and I already got the 16 extra gigabytes of RAM. And so if I get the Ion, which actually I reordered it and it's on its way, but my Ion, even though it only comes with 8 gigs, I'll have 24 gigs of RAM, and even though it only comes with, I think, 512 gigs storage, I got the 1 terabyte storage, and I'll be able to upgrade that. Problem with the Asus is you can't upgrade it, but also I heard the battery life is really, really bad. So even though the screen quality, I guess, is really, really good, and it looks like a beautiful, amazing laptop, what worries me is the battery life. A lot of reviews saying it only lasted 2 hours. The other option was the Dell, one of the Dell 15-inch, of course, I can't even remember the name right now, but it's like top of the line, top laptop in the Ultrabook category. It looks amazing, looks beautiful, but to me, the design, even though the bezels are really, really small, it doesn't really excite me. It's boring. It's not unique. Maybe because I've been around my brother's laptop, his Dell laptop, and it looks pretty similar, the keyboard layout and everything. And also, I don't want to just sidestep and get something that's about as good. I want to get something that is better than the Samsung. If you want me to get a laptop that's not a Samsung, it has to be better and for a better price. I don't think I could get a 15-inch laptop with, even if it didn't have upgradable RAM and SSD, but especially if it doesn't have upgradable RAM or SSD, it needs to have a decent amount and not 256 gig storage like a lot of these laptops have. And the great thing about the Samsung is that it does have a lot of features that these other laptops don't have. For example, wireless charging. That's a new feature on the Samsung Galaxy Book Ion. You can charge your watch and your phone wirelessly, any Qi device on your touchpad. It also supports Thunderbolt, so you could charge with that Thunderbolt USB-C and also attach an external GPU. So there's always that option down the road. It just costs a few $100 extra to get the enclosure, but you would have desktop style graphics. Now, I don't think I'll need a 4K screen or I'll miss it too much. The big thing is that I'll be able to get good schoolwork done and be able to do some light video editing like what you already see on my channel. I'm really excited for this laptop, and I'm going to do a full video about it when it comes in. The thing looks amazing, the pictures, but of course I can't really check it out in person with everything that's going on. I guess I could schedule an appointment with Best Buy, but It's too much of a hassle, so I just went ahead and got it. Samsung has a great reputation, and even though there's no American reviews out there right now other than like one person, I want to, I'll be getting it on Wednesday, so as soon as I get it, I want to do an unboxing and I want to talk about it. And yeah, I hope it goes well. Right now, it seems that, I've spent so many hours looking at laptops, and it seems to me that the Samsung Galaxy Book Ion seems to be hard to beat. Very, very hard to beat spec-wise, price-wise, about $1,000. Yeah, it's 1080, but do you really need 1080 when you're just editing Word? Is it worth sacrificing battery life? And then also, is it that important to have the dedicated graphics card when it's still a mobile graphics card? So it's not like I'm going to be really doing any gaming anyway, even if it was in there. And also, if you look at on the Hong Kong Samsung website and look at the Galaxy Book Ion that does come with a dedicated graphics card, the problem is it's double the price. It's $2,000 US dollars, like $2,100. So no, I don't want a laptop that expensive. This $1,000 laptop seems to be the sweet spot. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I will let you guys know how it is. Let me know if you're thinking about the Galaxy Book Ion. If you're a Samsung fan, let me know. Tell me why. Put in the comments what you like about Samsung, what you don't like about Samsung. I've been a fan for years. Everyone in my family they're all Apple fans, and they all got MacBooks and iPhones and iPads. I'm all in on Samsung. I got the phones. I have the watch, the Active 2, and I'll talk about that maybe in a future video. I see no reason to switch. If I were going to switch, it would have to be something better, but right now it seems like Samsung's the best on the block if you want Windows, as far as laptop goes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.